Okay guys, it's kind of late at night, but I really wanted to do this video, so we might as well just do it at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and jump in. Today we have like three stocks that I'm very interested in. I'm looking and I'm currently buying and increasing my positions in them. So let's go ahead and see the first one in the list. The number one of them, the number one of them is Google, Alphabet's Google. I absolutely love Google. I'm a huge fan. I use Google's products every day, like Google Workspace, YouTube. I believe there is a huge runway for YouTube to grow even in 2022 and from there 2023, etc. I like the services, the part that they have this recurring revenue model, so they can do whatever they want, and I'll allocate all this capital that they gain and this cash flow that they gain to whatever else they want. Of course, that's also one of the problems that Google has right now. They have so much cash they don't know what to do with, but I think that's something they will figure it out, being such a big company. Some people might think that Google is a behemoth right now already, it's a monster, but I think it's still becoming one. I think it still has a long way to go, and it can easily hit $3 trillion in the future and in the next years. And I think it will do it earlier than and faster than many of us actually think. Actually, let's look first for the fundamentals, some fundamentals, and then move on from there. Check this out. The last year, 2020, we were around 150 billion for all the quarters, for all the year, for all of 2020. And now, 2021, we are about to hit $200 billion of revenue, all for in just 1 year, which is great. It's great, and it gets even better because they have their operating income still increases, their net income still increases, their revenue, their margins are going up slowly but surely, and the operating expenses are staying kind of flat, which means that the company is running very lean, and the cash on its balance sheet keeps on growing. The growth is still high despite how big the company is. We have like 20% to 50% growth despite the almost 2 trillion market cap and the 2 trillion valuation it has right now in the market. The cash keeps going up, as I told you already. And I'm a huge fan. How can I not be a fan of Google? I use their products every day, YouTube Premium, whatever. There is everything. I live stream every day. And there are tons of viewers in YouTube that won't stop. They won't stop. They can't just change from one day to another. They might change after a while, but I think YouTube will probably have to make a big mistake for them to change. It's very hard to change something once you've been doing it and you've been using it for so long. Besides the fact that the mistake that they did earlier this month, where they removed the dislikes, that was, I think, a huge mistake, but only the future will tell. Anyway, let's take a look at the technicals before we move on to the next stock that I'm buying right now. I bought heavy. On this red candlestick you see right here on this day, I bought a ton. The lower we went, the heavier I was buying, and I bought a ton at 28.40, basically 2K.840 dollars. I bought a ton. I bought as much as I could basically, and we are on this long-term upper sloping trend, and it will keep on going probably because of the fundamentals of Google. And one ratio that I really like to look. So, by the way, to finish with the technicals, I highly recommend. I'm not a financial advisor. You do your own due diligence and take your own risk. But at least what I do is I buy every time we touch this lower resistance. Now we have to flip it back to support, but I think, and I'm positive that we can do that confidently. Anyway, let's move on from Google and check this ratio that I really like, and is one more reason for me to buy. Actually, look just at the price. Look just at the price and the EPS and the earnings per share that it keeps going up. But what I actually want you guys to look at in this chart are the PE. Look where it stays usually. It stays around 23 to 32 to 19. Basically anywhere from, most of the time, 19 to, I would say, 30. You could say 30, but I would say, yeah, you could say 30. From 19 to 30 basically. Or let's say 20 from 30. Now, it's not like we are on top of it. It's not like we are very high, ultra high. We are kind of high, kind of over the middle, over the center, but it's not like we are overvalued. You could say we are overvalued if we were at 34, if we were at 32, if we were at 58, at 43, you could say we would be overvalued then, but it seems like Google, for me at least, looks currently undervalued, and it keeps growing more and more in its valuation, and will probably surpass it after a while. And building my position now, I think, is the only reasonable thing to do, the only logical thing to do. Anyway, that's all for Google. I love Google. I will keep buying Google, and it's the biggest position in my portfolio. So actions speak louder than words. So let's move on. The next one, MicroStrategy. Let's check on Yahoo Finance. MicroStrategy is now $7.4 billion dollars market cap, and we all know who's behind MicroStrategy, the famous Michael Saylor. This guy has the biggest conviction I have ever seen on Bitcoin. I admire him for that, but I actually like what he's doing with the company. The funny thing is that I was buying at 650, 660, 670, 680, 690 MicroStrategy the last couple of days, where Bitcoin was struggling at 54k and 53k, and we are already up from that prices. I also bought at 750. I can't lie, 750, 740, 730. So I didn't time every buy perfectly, but on this last dip, I bought even more. I increased my position on MicroStrategy because ultimately everything on chain about Bitcoin is getting better. Everything is getting better. The bull market is not done just yet, so everyone is holding, no one is selling. Whales keep buying even more. Institutions are inside the crypto market and are basically fighting to get as many Bitcoins as they can. So there is nothing like bearish about this company for now, besides the debt that they have. And the crazy thing is that they are buying even more. Live. Michael Saylor announced today on his Twitter that they purchased an additional 7k Bitcoins for 400 million. It's insane. What he's doing is insane. Even at those high prices, he doesn't even care. He's just buying. The comment here, legend from Benjamin Cowan. Peter Schiff comment. Let's have some fun and read this one too. Of course you did. You're pot committed at this point. Also, you are not only buying to help prop up the market, but to publicly announce your purchases to keep the rest of the holders on board. That's part of the cult of Bitcoin. Diamond Hunt, never sell no matter what. What's the point of this comment? Anyway, let's move on with the last. This is an on-chain metric where it shows the supply on exchanges. The supply on exchanges is basically how much Bitcoin is available to be traded on exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, whatever, Kraken, or Coinbase, etc. And it keeps going lower. Soon we will hit levels that the last time we saw was around basically the middle of 2019. And that was before the huge rally that we had for Bitcoin. The bull market keeps on going. It won't stop. It can't stop now at that timeline, at this time of the market. And Bitcoin will only keep going up. It's like digital gold. But there are many reasons why Bitcoin is going up. There is the hedge against inflation. We have fiat, which gets printed all the time more and more. And people are trying to live fiat as much as they can. Actually, people are trying to hold fiat now because we are in economic uncertainty. But one investment that many guys use as a hedge is Bitcoin, and that's one of the reasons that Bitcoin is going up. Fiat is easy to transfer in space. Gold is easy. It's not easy to transfer in space. It's actually very hard, but it's easy to transfer its value in time. So that's why people hold gold. But Bitcoin combines those two because it's very easy to transfer in space. You can easily transfer it from one place to another just with your phone or something, or with your ledger. And it's also easy to transfer, or you can send someone money. And it's also easy to transfer in time because its value will only keep going up, because we know that it's capped. Its flow in the market is capped. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins and not anymore. That pushes the price even higher. Anyway, the last stock is actually not a stock, it's an ETF. It's an ETF that I found actually kind of interesting. Have always been a gamer. I have always been in the chip making, basically the semiconductor and chip making. I was always interested in that market. And I was usually buying different processors for my PCs, just for gaming. I know that's a small percentage of the revenues that all these big companies have, on these semiconductor companies have, but it's something, and it made me in them. So instead of trying to gamble, trying to find the next big, huge one company that will keep going up without stopping, I actually thought I might as well just pick an ETF that tracks all those smaller, basically semiconductor companies. I don't want to get the risk of just holding Intel, even though I absolutely love Intel and what Pat Gelsinger is doing, the CEO there. I just didn't want to take the risk of only holding Intel. I actually didn't want to take the risk of only holding Nvidia or AMD as well, because even though they might be good, they might be great, I believe AMD can easily double and triple from here in the future, slowly but surely. They are kind of overvalued now, so you are taking a lot of risk just by buying them at those prices that they have. If you check the prices of Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, everything in my mind is saying Bitcoin right now. Anyway, if you check the prices of AMD right now, they are sitting at 52-week all-time highs. Oh, AMD set a new all-time high after hours. I would never want to buy a stock at its all-time highs. This is probably the time to take profits, not buy them in. Nvidia as well just hit new all-time highs on the after hours today. I would never want to enter this market right now. How overvalued those stocks are. In the AMD was like 60p, 70p, I don't remember. I didn't check the number now. But Nvidia is 103. Oh, very overvalued. So I just went ahead and bought on this ETF. It tracks, let's see what it tracks. Before the price and yield performance of the listed 25 index semiconductor companies, which is intended to track the overall performance of companies involved in semiconductor production and equipment. The holdings of this are actually based on the market cap of the companies, I think, of all of those semiconductor companies. And we have Nvidia sitting at the top with 12.7%. I have absolutely no problem with that. I have no problem with TSMC, ASML, Intel, AMD. I absolutely love all those companies. AMD will get even higher and probably pass those after a while, past the first 2 or 3. But it's more of a growth one. But yeah, I absolutely love it. The one I don't like every single one of them, of course, but the ones I like, just so you know, because you might not want to get an ETF, you might want to get exposure to a single one of them. I like Skyworks Solutions. I like, let's see, I like MU. This is MU. I like Qualcomm, AMD. I like all those top 6. And from all the rest, I like just MU and Skyworks Solutions. That is all. And that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. A small look inside my mind and what's going on right now. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.